And there we have it. Sunday morning, our resident eagle. We have two resident eagles, and surprisingly, I don't know if there are any names. Nobody's named them.
Yeah, then maybe then we can have a little
We can.
contest.
I
Name
like
the
that.
Eagles here at Laurel Park. Yeah.
There we go. Our resident Eagles welcoming us, and probably one of the only few enjoying the rain out there here on this Sunday. And let's go ahead and actually, as we're taking a look to the track, what a day that we had yesterday. A fun enough day with keeping things fun and spicy. My highlight of the day yesterday actually was Misty Mauve for Rudy and Johan Rosado. They're in the Dahlia, 18-1, 39 bucks and 60 cents.
Had a couple recent claims win stakes. Yesterday you had Classier as well for Kieran McGee and company there in the Henry S. Clark, but a couple very good performances. I thought Stage Left was really good in the King T. Leatherberry, experiencing some trouble out of the gate to overcome that. So we're off the turf, though, again today. Sloppy conditions. Yesterday we started muddy, then went to good and actually harrowed late. So they really transferred on very, very nicely, I thought, the track yesterday. So unfortunately, this rain has kind of stayed around. So we're going to deal with a sloppy track today. 8 races on tap. Yeah. And Preakness future wager, we'll pop that up real quick as well. Do we have that board?
And we do.
Yeah,
Let's take a look at that.
Yeah, they've 73,000 right now. That's shocking to me. I thought, first time around, wasn't quite sure. They handled kind of comparatively to the Derby future, the last pool, which did, I think, close to 300, in flat wagering, win wagering. But this is a great start, I think. And right now, the favorite is Forte. But if you find some value, go get it and attack. I'm sure some people are going to be lurking, laying there in the weeds and waiting late as they possibly can to maybe get that value. But, yeah, very, very encouraging right now for this first-time go-round with the Preakness future wager.
And with that, welcome to today at the races. And let's start things off in this first race here on Sunday. Of course, kicks off the early pick 5 in this maiden claiming 12-5, going 5.5 on the dirt for the straight 3-year-olds. Keith, you have the number 6 on top. Neutral.
Yeah, neutral looks like an all-or-nothing type here. $225,000 investment, just really not much first time out. The full brother, they spent like $400,000. Still trying to get it done, I think, 0 for 3 or 4. But the blinkers go on. A couple of encouraging works at Delaware. Most recent work was pretty sharp. Second of 61 in there. That day was St. Jude, a really sharp first-time out winner for Ben Perkins. So, relatively speaking, compared to the works, pretty good. Off track certainly should be able to handle it. I think you're going with the blinkers going. Maybe Sheldon kind of quarter horse it out of there if he can.
Anything
and go.
But neutral.
We'll see. Yeah, you're not going to try to get stuck in neutral, and we'll try to go. To me, an all-or-nothing type. And Brittany, with these horses of late, the last 3 months or so, 4 for 9, 7 for 9, with the maidens transferring into her barn.
And there we have it. There we have it. Why, Keith, you have her on top. I took a stab to see if I could get Distant Fire at a certain price. That's probably the only way I would bet if I were to go with Distant Fire for Mikey Duralis, Angel Cruz. Dam won first out on a sloppy off-turf event going a mile. So we saw that first time out going on a sloppy track. I think the distance last out might have polarized things a little bit, but I'm referring back to these shorter distances and kind of hoping we can find a happy medium there.
I can see it. The beer's on ice. I have to. Ain't the beer cold, just hasn't shown that ability. Hence, no more protect, a jam off of the break. Another one, Lasix going on, a little bit of shot, a good forward work moving into this. I think Golden Remedy will show speed outside. It's kind of a head scratcher to get you going here at race 1 at Laurel Park.
What about your early pick 4? Is that a head scratcher at all?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, every day it's a head scratcher for me. I'm always confused, Callie. You know that. Race 2, the 7 and 8 are going to get you started. O'Shaughnessy and Bella Bettina. We've got a stat on the 8 coming up. Race 3, all button. It's 4 horses. Scratch the 3, 5, 6, unfortunately. So we're left with 4 in race number 3. Very tough to split those horses, actually. Race 4 with a 1, 5, and 6. Little Miss Scarlet first off the claim. Axel Concepcion riding well. It's kind of tough. We said yesterday up in the press box, we can't leave him out at any time. He and Rodriguez, the way they kind of roll along. And wrap it up. Race 5 with the 9 and the 14. North Highland. A couple bombs if you want to throw in race 5. The 2, Sneaking Suspicion, and even the first are highly in native with Axel Concepcion, but that would really bump it up. But if you could afford it, grab a friend and do so, because the 9's going to be an awfully short price in race 5.
You know, Keith, we had a conversation about this earlier yesterday, and about adding certain horses. I said when it rains and when it's mud, just add on. So
Yeah.
like Keith said, see if you can just kind of split with a friend for an easier early pick 4 ticket.
Indian Lake yesterday, great example.
Yes.
27.60. We gave you a good story on it. He was third in our picks. A horse, as I say, when you see my 4 picks or your 4 picks, and you see some value in there, the first thing you have to do is bet a couple bucks on those horses.
Yep.
I mean, I'm telling you, I think they're live. And when you get a price like that on a capable horse like Indian Lake, who had a little trouble and excuse, a little freshing, well, that was a good move up the rail, and he got it done at a big, big price.
Really great instinctual ride by Axel Concepcion. We'll see what else Axel can show us here today on Sunday. Early pick 4 starts in race number 2, originally 5.5 on the turf, and now we are on the slop. That's a claiming 25,000. Would never win 3 for the girls. Keith, let's talk about O'Shaughnessy now in the barn of Daniel McKenzie. Louis Rivera Jr., who also had a win yesterday at a bit of a price, but you also have a stat on O'Shaughnessy. Let's take a look at Daniel McKenzie.
Yeah, and looking at this guy, off the turf, I know this horse went for 2 in life, and it's a 25. This is a step kind of a sideways
The whole
move
field.
for me. Exactly. So, but I tell you, Daniel McKenzie doesn't run a lot of horses, but the last 2 years in the dirt, we talked about this last time with this runner. 6 for 23 for a 26% strike rate, 11 for 23 in the money with an ROI of 259. And O'Shaughnessy, 2 races back, we keyed up Cocktail Dreaming is like a 4-time winner. So running against maybe a little bit better company, even though the tag doesn't kind of tell you that.
Right.
Like the way this one rated last time out, it overcame a little adversity when being fan 5 wide. I like the shortening up. We'll have to prompt the issue of she'll make waves from the inside.
And exactly that. So, I mean, I think, but finds herself in a favorable spot doing that. Very comfortable in that situation. So all the more points to that one. Bella Patina, you have underneath for Sammy Davis, Forrest Boyce. Why not? One on a wet fast, back at the claiming 10 hours or 2, has bumped up, but considerably bumped up in that claiming 16. That puts in a good position within this field, within these scratches, on and off track.
A little bit of improved form of late. Against the grain, don't like this one going longer, but as a one-turn sprinter, I like. I think there's going to be enough speed to set things up for the late run of Bella Bettina with Forrest Boyce will be sitting there patiently handling and firing through the stretch.
Let's see if she can get see if she can get it done on the mud today. Race number 3 is the second leg of the early pick 4 and a starter optional 12.5 going a mile and 16th. But it also starts the rainbow pick 6. Let's take a look at the structure of my ticket. 2 deep here in races 3 and 4 with Crush It and Oxide. I like both of those results for those 2 in my first leg of it. Race 5, 3 deep. You go with 9:14. I add the 3 and the 6. You go a different direction in that race. Just intrigued by a couple of underneath.
Okay.
Of course, Brittany Russell as my single of the day today in Cora's Choice. Race number 7. I think it's a wide open affair. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm glad you agree. And then I normally single, but I go a bit wider in this last race that we have here for our weekend of racing now that we're back in action. And 5, 6, 7 for a $32 ticket. If I were to add anywhere, I would probably add either, I might add in the 4th, but I'm also, I would add in the 4th, or if I'm looking at the 3rd, because I was looking at the 3rd and hoping to add the number 5, but the 5 was a late scratch.
Yeah.
So I would, if I were to add anywhere, I would add the 4 into the first leg. So I would go 2, 4, 7. I just didn't want to get my ticket to be, too expensive, especially on a day like today. But let's go ahead. Let's kick back to that first leg of an early pick, or the rainbow pick 6, and the starter optional 12.5 going a mile and 16th on the dirt for the 3-year-olds and up. Keith, you have the number 2, Crush It.
Yeah.
For Hugh McMahon, William Humphrey, why not? 1 for 8 on a wet dirt, but overall 7 for 8 in the money.
It's a weird race. It's 4 horses left. I mean, Mystic Link, who would have shown anything more, I think still could be the favorite in here with the Ness Rodriguez factor. Something just must have went amiss. He went into the far turn and showed no interest at all and just dropped back out of it. He's bounced back off of subpar efforts in the past to kind of make some runs. So I don't know how this race is going to completely shape up. I think Mystic Link's got to be a little bit aggressive. Crush It as well likes to kind of go and track. So I think Crush It, the barn, the jock trainer combo has been doing pretty well to prompt and maybe survive. Oxide gets a good trip. I think this is the one I think can settle at least in rate and kind of bring that move into it. Let's see if he can sustain first off the claim. And you got Kreiser, who's always deadly when he comes down here, and a horse that's making a big drop and can handle an off track. This race is basically throw blank. I cannot really split them when I go through it. So hence the all button. There you go.
Absolutely. It's a good race to press the all button on. So let's go ahead into race number 4. This starter optional claiming 20,000, going 6 furlongs on the dirt for the girls, 3 years old and up. Keith, you have the number 5, who I have underneath. I knew you were going to pick this one on top. Tam Char for Charlie Frock gets Louis Rivera Jr. Consistency on a wet track.
Yeah, one on a sloppy sealed surface, 2 races back, took the initiative and went ahead and went. I think you're going to see that kind of ride and those tactics again. Last time out, they went really fast. Rosina showed exceptional speed from the gate. This one, you see the comment, a little step slow, then rated, taking the rate 4 wide. And just a little bit of belated run. I like that. A little sneaky play there, a little angle with Tam Char. Got this horse to finish up, but I think her best race is going to come on or near the lead.
I agree with that. I feel like that's the only way she can get it done. You also have the rail horse, Lady Jean, underneath, Mario Sabre Jr., Georgie Hernandez, another one. How do you see them playing this? Because they're in the same position as last time out, on a sloppy surface, on the rail, just missed out. We have some speed on the outside in Tam Char, so do you see Lady Jean? You clearly see Lady Jean kind of repeating that same effort as of last time out.
I mean, she's versatile. I think she can go right up to the lead or sit just off of. The key is don't get checked or get steadied into the turn. If she gets put in a little predicament, she's going to have to recover and do it. But I like her versatility, jumping up a little bit here off the claim. But this kind of move for Saray's been good. It's a positive ROI move, 245 the last couple years.
A key race is back on the 13th of October on the mud, on a rail trip, and did exactly as you said. Took back a little bit, took a bit of a rail trip, was able to handle that kind of situation. Yeah,
the sleeper to me is Little Miss Scarlet. I think there's going to be flow, just a really inexplicable bad race last time out. Has a win on off track, goes in the barn of Kieran McGee. He cannot miss right now with a rider that's just riding quite well in Axel's Concepcion. This is the one, boy, if they ramp it up, she could make that move right
there
into
we go,
it.
Axel Concepcion. It may be possibly giving us a little fun show like he did yesterday with Hugh McMahon's Indian Lake. But we will be right back after this commercial to talk about the rest of Sloppy Sunday's card.
Introducing the first racing tool from Pegasus to Preakness. Iconic venues. World-class racing. Millions at stake. New champions will be crowned. Only at first.
We weren't gone very long, but welcome back to race number 5 in this maiden claiming 45. Originally a mile and 16th on the turf, and now we return to the dirt. Let's go ahead. Catch up on the 9, Carvelian Quest, Michael Trombetta, Johan Rosado, 2 for 3 in third on a wet dirt try. There's a lot there's a lot to like about this filly. It's going to be easy why she's going to be taking a lot of money in this race.
Yeah, Carvelian Quest came off a little bit of a break and had to encounter St. Jude and a horse like Take Charge, too, for Kieran, who ran just bang-up races. That was a debut run for St. Jude. It was an awfully big number. So I think the key here is you look at the company this one's kept. He's okay. He's got tactical speed. You know, he's going to be forwardly positioned. Second off the bench is a very good angle here. And as you said, proven on and off track. Going to be an awfully short price. Wouldn't surprise me. 4 to 5, you know, when it's all said and done. So are you looking elsewhere for a little bit of a price? You got late breaking blinkers on North Highland. Has to act a little bit better, but a little bump up, a protect move off a decent, encouraging debut where this horse kind of chased the pace and stayed on, came back on late. So a little better acting, and I think North Highland could possibly upset. And if you're looking for that bomb to maybe enhance your exactest try, superfecta, sneaking suspicion. I've got a sneaking suspicion this one horse might jump, run up, and run a lot better than you see on the page. A fresh, and this is a 3-year-old debut. Good works coming in. Lasix on and a full brother that was 4 for 9 on and off track. This horse ran well first time out. showed speed inside, dropped back, and was very willing to the finish. Next two, not so much, but a chance to regroup might hit the board at a big price.
We'll see what happens with that one, with the dynamic of that one-turn mile.
Yes.
So it'll be interesting. Which is where I almost want to jump back on North Highland on top because of what I saw in that first time routing effort for Hammy Smith, and now we just add the blinkers on for added effect. But anyway, let's go ahead into race number 6 in that maiden claiming 30,000. 6 furlongs on the dirt as intended for the straight 3-year-old fillies. Keith, you land on the number 5, Little Late Luck for Hamby Smith. Axel Concepcion. Let's go ahead and take a look at what you have lined up between Little Late Luck and horse is probably going to be taking a favorite Chorus Choice.
Yeah, Chorus Choice. And, yeah, Chorus Choice was pretty keen. Was edged up inside of Free Admission, who we know was very quick. And this was kind of tugging Toledo along that day. Had to wait. Shifts out 3 wide. Little Late Luck, we won't see this one for a little bit, was kind of lagging back, dropped well off that pace. But it was sharp. 22 and 246 and change for this kind of fillies and these maiden 30s. But Chorus Choice shifts out. Looks like she's got to win, right? For crying out loud, a little bit of price here for Mikey Gorham is going to get the lead and dig in and fend off that challenge. Watch Little Late Luck, very late, shifts out and levels off. Takes a while, but that last 30, 40 yards was really going well. Was probably going to go up and go by Chorus Choice late. Chorus Choice today from this outside position, shorter field, scratches 6-7. Might just go ahead and try to go, but I think she'll have some company here with Sugarson, and this firster is bred to have a little speed.
In addition, what I liked with what we saw in the number 5, Little Late Luck, in approaching that wire, and the gallop out was good, and she did it in between horses, which is something that I particularly like as well. She's going to have a bit of an easier time within this field. It still keeps a sizable number, but again, a little bit of reprieve for her today.
Okay, yeah, and the 3, Donna's Courage can't really knock the tries. You know, even gave an okay effort going long. Again, freshened, hasn't been seen for a couple months. Works are forward, got the bottom into it with the April 13th work. Here at 6 furlongs, this horse's races definitely do fit. Voodoo Princess, the 1. Priestess, I should say, the 1. A protect move, right?
Yes.
Off a decent try here. Now third off of a break for Hammy. Might be that sneaky higher price Hammy horse to make the run from off the pace. I don't see her having that kind of speed. She's going to find herself back early, but could charge home late. And real quick, go back to the 5th race real quick. I'm going to tell you, because Axel Concepcion, we were talking
Something
about.
popped in your head.
Yes, with the firster of Hialeah Native, Concepcion on, Phil Schoenthal. I had a little stat here. I just want to leave that out. This horse hits the board, and I'm upstairs. Where was it? Hialeah Native. The siblings. Okay, 5 starters, 2 wins, 2 seconds, and a third in debut. Everyone hit the board. So there you go. Let's roll to the 7th, right?
Let's roll to the 7th.
7th.
7th of the day. This nice setup in this allowance optional 62.5 going 7 furlongs on the dirt for the straight 3-year-olds. Keith, we're a bit all over the board. So
Yes.
I just left Parkerness off of my selections. So I'm glad you have this one on. Trying the wet dirt for the first time in his career today, but is also likely going to be getting a better trip this time out. Last effort, the momentum was just really broken on him.
No doubt. I thought this horse ran quite well. Caught in tight, heading to the far turn, dropped back, and just kind of kept chugging late. And I went back and watched the rerun again. This horse's stride, it looks like he wants longer. 7/8's a good effort against a good horse. Now goes second Lasix. I like the draw to the outside. I think he's going to sit and really be able to relax and make that pounce move mid-turn and just kind of go. If he stays free and clear, I think he's going to ramp up a pretty good run.
Let's talk about Lamarless for Mary Epler on the outside with Angel Cruz, especially is going to need the help, but taking just a look back at that last time. Clipped heels, fell. For me, when things happen like that with a horse, I give that horse one more start to kind of get the bearings back. But you have some faith that this guy is going to jump right back into it, no
Just
problem.
a little shot.
Sure.
At value in a race, this is very, very close. I mean, again, you can't take less than 5-2, 3-1 on any of these horses.
Correct.
LaMarvelous jumped up with the blinkers and Lasix in second start, a big improvement, 17 points in the buyer. They didn't go that fast early, but I like the way he finished. He was making a move leaving the far turn when that incident happened back in February. Looks like he's regrouped, working forwardly. Wouldn't surprise me to sit and make a move into it at all. LaMarvelous, a little hunch play for Lamar, just getting done that new contract.
Oh, there we go. Let's touch quickly on the 4 before we we get to the one, Assume Nothing for Brittany Russell. Toledo, bred to handle the dirt, not this time, 20% with a wet dirt as well. Most of the siblings, however, haven't fared too well with the mud, but she beat out an extremely game Box and Ben, who did all the hard work early and then just missed it in that next outing.
Yeah, he got the trip. He did. He got it last time. There was like 4 across the track for a long way there and was able to sit and get up. We'll see if he can kind of overcome. The 2-back number, very, very strong. Let's take a look at Bick. You've got him in the mix. I ended up having him then off the ticket, but you have to take a look at that most recent effort. I thought it was really good.
Absolutely. It's the cutback in distance that really does it. And again, as we see, Hop the Start did not get the perfect start. There was a little bit of distraction going on there. So that, with what I see, just he wasn't paying attention at the right time. He just wasn't paying attention. The gates open, and then he said, oh, away we go. But what I liked is that he was able to have that opportunity to sit off for the beginning at least. So had to do a little bit of hard work on the outside going around there on a track, on a wet track. So we go from a good track, what we're seeing on screen, to a sloppy track today. I don't think that's going to be an issue at all, but he clearly enjoys it. But I think it's more, he's finally back at the proper distance. So he broke from the inside in first asking, which also was a win. And that kind of really solidified things for me with this one for Tim. Again, Tim Kreiser shipping in for this one. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, this is an all button for me if I'm kind of playing the multi-race wagers. But, yeah, he's 1 for 1 and off track. You see the Spitestown of the breeding. Interesting kind of horse, though.
Right.
Wins debut, gallops, and then they lay him in for a tag. And then they claim him, and then the horse was running around, and then laid him in for a tag. It's something. Poor old Bick. He's back home now, it looks like. And we'll see. You saw that burst of speed he had after that slow start to go up and get into a 22 and change.
That's a tough
opening
thing to do.
quarter. That's a sharp move. So with a clean break, he certainly could be the one to catch. And who he beat, put the best behind. The horse came back. I should say a couple races prior at Laurel, and an allowance ran a 66 buyer, a very good number. So very good race number 7. They're highly competitive.
Very competitive, which is why I go 5 wide on my ticket in my Rainbow Pick 6. But let's get back to business in the 8th race, our nightcap of the day. And to wrap up everything here for this weekend back into racing at Laurel Park is a claiming 16, 8.5 on, a mile and 16th on the dirt, as intended for the girls 3 years old and up. You have the number 3 as your top selection. Salagadula for Jose Samaniego gets Axel Concepcion.
Exactly. Freshened up, haven't seen, but I know one thing. This one can get the distance. So, yeah, they get Concepcion, the right kind of rider. You're looking late in the day, and we talk about it, looking for a little bit of a price. Right. I think the Haunted Room, you've got the Munnings there. This horse could really just kind of be aggressive, but I think a couple horses might try to be aggressive in here. Hence, I'm going to take a horse from a little further off the pace, but Haunted Room definitely could move up on this type of surface.
I agree. You and I also both have the 5 and 4 underneath for Fun, Sweet Talia, and Mo Faya, both who are winless, but 2 seconds on a wet dirt, so things will be interesting. We'll see if maybe one of those can nab their first win on the dirt.
Sweet Talia ran very well. You see the number, and it has a number on the go back that works. So, yeah, has shown some effort on an off track. Lopez decided to go there. She brings that last race back, and she held quite well. She's going to beat this group.
Let's see what happens here on the slot today here on Sunday. You never know what happens. We've been having prices go on days like today. But, Keith, let's go to lightning round and talk a little bit about your best bet and your value play. Let's go to your best bet, race 7, number 6 in Parkerness for Jamie Ness, coming off of that not great trip last time.
Yeah, this is just a trip horse. Coming back off of that, I saw the stride. This horse really got to cover some ground. I think this horse is going to like the 7/8, even moving out a little bit further down the line. So there you go. Parkerness best bet. Value play, that's in the last, right?
Yes.
8th race, yeah. What better? You got a rider that's hitting at a good clip, has a little bit of speed up in front to kind of close into Salagadula.
Salagadoo. I just love that name. I love Dave Rodman saying it as well. And before we get to Dave Rodman, I just wanted to touch up on the alibi winners for Preakness this year. Jay Privman winning for this year. He also won in he's winning the David F. Woods, and he won it in 2012, 2013. He just recently retired from the DRF back in September, but he was rewarded last year for his story on Wayne D. Lucas. He really did a wonderful in-depth, and we're taking a look right now at the winner of the Furkhoff award-winning image of jockey Jose Ortiz. Just after he won the Preakness last year, just overcome with emotion. It's personally one of my favorite images. So a Rob Carr for Getty Images and here in Baltimore. So congratulations to both of them. Very well earned for both of them. And with that, we're going to take it over to Dave Rodman for the rest of the changes and scratches here for Sunday's race card.
You got to stay dry and good luck.